everyone, it's Sal here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be having a look at the new perfumes I have finally added into my collection. If you've been following my channel for a wee while now, you will know that I did quite a few large declutters. So I moved many fragrances onto a new home, and now I have kind of allowed myself to purchase a few new fragrances. So I'm really excited about this haul. I haven't done a haul in such a long time. I was actually trying not to do hauls anymore in general because I didn't want to be buying like too many fragrances. I think I have around 5 perfumes to show you today. 5 new perfumes. I am super excited. I've literally just unboxed some of them, so I have the packaging like sitting here. If you're new to my channel, then a very warm welcome. I create weekly perfume videos, so if that's something you would be interested in, then please don't forget to click the subscribe button below and activate the notification bell as well if you would like to be notified every time I post. So you guys, with all that being said, let's get started with today's haul. So the first fragrance I added into my collection was Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum from Dior. Now this is a fragrance that I'd had my eye on for like a really long time, even as far back as last year. I think, you know, I was considering this fragrance, but I kind of held off. But recently I decided to go ahead and purchase it, and I do actually have some sprayed on this paper here. This is a gorgeous, rich, deep, dark version of the Eau de Toilette. This one is less sweet, I would say. It's heavier, more mysterious, you know, a bit more serious in the mood. And in those regards, it's kind of what I was expecting, really, which I'm really happy about. So the scent itself is really gorgeous. So there is more emphasis on the licorice notes in here. The vanilla isn't quite as prominent, or, you know, maybe it's in there, but it's not the same kind of gourmand type of vanilla that you have in the Eau de Toilette. And I don't know if I get as much of the almond either. With this fragrance, I get more of the spicy tonka bean, I get the licorice, and I also get the delectable, very addictive jasmine notes in here. So this is a gorgeous fragrance. I really like it. It's very different to the Eau de Toilette, actually. Like very different. I do think that it's worth having both, you know, if this is the type of fragrance you like. They give off very different moods to me. Now, initially, I was actually quite disappointed by this one. Like, initially, I even considered returning it, but I've decided to keep it. But the reason I was kind of disappointed was the lasting power of this one and the overall like strength isn't quite what I was hoping. I sort of thought that because this is the Eau de Parfum, I thought it would be stronger than the Eau de Toilette. But as it turns out, it's kind of on par, or maybe a bit stronger, but like not by much. So I mean, that was kind of disappointing, but overall it's a gorgeous fragrance nonetheless. It's really beautiful, very different to the Eau de Toilette again, which kind of I quite liked because it meant that it was even more worthwhile keeping it, you know, because it's quite different to the one I already owned. So yeah, this fragrance is really beautiful. It's more mature than the Eau de Toilette. It's a bit more elevated. It's got a bit more about it, I would say. Definitely quite spicy, you know, quite rich, quite intoxicating in a very dark, mysterious kind of way. The florals in general are much more prominent in here than they are in the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Toilette to me is primarily a very creamy, kind of almondy, vanilla gourmand type of scent, you know, with the kind of fruitiness from the plum as well. But this one, to me, it's woodier, it's heavier, spicy from the base notes like tonka bean, the licorice, and also those really prominent glowing florals in here, you know. So you have your, so that was really weird. My phone randomly stopped recording and I lost 10 minutes of footage. Like, it looked like it was filming, you know, and then it stopped, and it turns out it had only filmed like a small portion of what I'd actually filmed, so that's fun. So I believe the florals in here, you have your Jasmine Absolutes in here, which I can really detect, and the Orange Blossom as well, which gives it that sweetness. This is a beautiful fragrance, and for days when the Eau de Toilette version is a bit too sweet and a bit too gourmand, this would be a really nice alternative, you know. So I am really happy to have this one in my collection now. It's one I'd had my eye on for a long time, like I said. So that is Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum. Next up we have this beauty here, Juliette Has a Gun Lipstick Fever. Now, you guys, I'd had my eye on this one for a really long time. I actually had a travel size of it. And I used that for kind of the last year, really. So I'd known for a really long time that I eventually, you know, wanted to get this one, and I have finally added it into my collection. This perfume is so gorgeous, you guys. It's kind of creamy, slightly waxy, maybe even slightly powdery. It just reminds me of a high-end makeup counter. I just love this fragrance, you guys. It's so stunning. Definitely reminds me of lipstick and just high-end makeup in general, like a luxurious makeup counter, that kind of thing, you know. And I believe there's raspberry in here, there is violet, woody notes, and this has a really interesting dry down as well. Initially, I kind of thought that it was a very linear fragrance and it didn't change too much, but actually, I remember wearing it once. I noticed in the dry down it almost went slightly spicy, like a kind of faint spice was in there in the dry down, like it kind of changed a bit on my skin, and it was really interesting. I just love the way that it smells. It's so polished, put together, feminine, versatile, you know, you could wear this all year round. It's not really reminding me of any particular season as such. I do think that it's a perfect versatile fragrance that you could easily wear all year round, even as like a signature scent or something like that. It's just so like easy to wear, you know. I think it would suit most occasions as well. So I really love this one. It's one I had my eye on for a really long time, like I say, and it's very nice to have it in my collection now. So that's Juliette Has a Gun Lipstick Fever. Next up today we have L'Interdit Intense from Givenchy. Now this is a perfume that I didn't think I was gonna like, actually, because of the black pepper notes and the sesame notes, and it just sounded a bit unusual, and I thought that it would be a bit too out there and I wouldn't get on with it. But as it turns out, I actually love this one. I would say I prefer the L'Interdit Intense to the original L'Interdit. This one is smoother, well, more rounded and better blended than the original L'Interdit, just kind of to my nose anyway. Maybe you could let me know in the comments which one you prefer, if you've tried both. I do remember reading somewhere, actually, I think it might have been in one of your comments, I think somebody mentioned that they found the Intense and the original to be very similar, and actually I find them to be fairly different. I find the original L'Interdit to be much sharper and kind of yeah, much sharper, a bit more a bit bossier, you know, a bit edgier, and this one to me is more likable. It's creamier, smoother, more rounded, and kind of unique with that sesame notes, which I can definitely smell. This fragrance is just so nice. It's so addictive, very feminine, alluring, perfect for a date. Especially, I think, with the autumn and winter coming up, I can see myself really reaching for this one quite a lot. It's just a stunning fragrance and I'm so excited to have it in my collection now. So that's L'Interdit Intense from Givenchy. I do also have this sample of L'Interdit Rouge, which I'm kind of on the fence with at the moment, you guys. I haven't really decided. I mean, at the moment, L'Interdit Intense is my favourite out of all of the L'Interdits. I've briefly tried this one. This sample literally just arrived with my order today, so I haven't like sprayed this, but I have briefly tried the Rouge before, like in a store. My first impressions of it were really good. It's kind of like a sweeter, slightly warm version of L'Interdit, smoother as well, and it's a really nice fragrance, but I haven't decided if it's worth purchasing a full bottle of yet. I will be talking more about L'Interdit Rouge in a upcoming video of mine, so stay tuned for that. I'll be talking about new perfume releases and which ones I will and will not be purchasing. So I'll save that for later, you know, I'll save this for another video. But as it stands right now, I would say that L'Intridi Intense is definitely my favourite from the whole L'Intridi line, for sure. The next one I picked up was Ambre 114 from Histoire de Parfums. This was a fantastic perfume recommendation from my subscriber Lisa. Thank you so much, Lisa, for bringing this to my attention because I love this fragrance. This is a 15ml little kind of travel size that I purchased of this perfume from Histoire de Parfums website. It's really nice that they offer that option, you know. You can purchase like a 2ml sample, a 15ml, or a full bottle. So I was pretty sure I was gonna love this. I had a really good feeling about it, and as it turns out, it is a complete love. So this perfume to me is a really spicy, warm and sweet, inviting amber fragrance. It instantly kind of reminded me of Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So if you're familiar with that fragrance, or if you have tried it and you know that you love it, then I do think you would also like this, because to me there are some similarities there between the two scents. I would say Grand Soir has more of like a gooey vanilla dry down to it. It's more kind of leaning gourmand in the dry down, whereas this fragrance here, it's not quite as gooey. I still need to try this on my skin actually. I've sprayed it onto card and I love it so far, but I still need to spray it onto my skin and see, appreciate like the full development of this fragrance. But so far it is a complete love, and I'm really looking forward to like exploring it more and like talking about it more on my channel, because I think it's a true gem of a scent. So that's Ambre 114 from Histoire de Parfums. Oh, I'm so nervous my phone's gonna randomly cut out again and I'm gonna lose footage. It did that earlier and I had to refilm parts. I'm gonna whiz through this last one now just in case that happens, and then I'll stop filming for the day. So let's see if we can get to the end without losing any more footage. So the last fragrance that I picked up was Mukhallat from Montal. Now this fragrance is super interesting to me, you guys. I did purchase a sample of it first, so I have the sample here. And it wasn't a love at first sniff. You know, at first sniff I was kind of a bit taken aback by it, to be honest. There's a very prominent strawberry note in here, which I wouldn't normally like, but it's the way that it's kind of blended in there and the way that it changes on the skin. It's really enchanting actually. There's something very, very unusual about this. So from what I can remember of the notes, there's strawberry, there is almond, there is vanilla as well, and Peru balm, I think. And overall it's a really interesting gourmand, almondy, sweet, dessert-like fragrance, but it almost has something quite aloof and airy about it, something I can't quite put my finger on, and it almost reminded me slightly of Baccarat Rouge, like the airy quality to it, the sillage, the way that it smells kind of strange but in a very nice way, if that makes sense. And like in that regard it almost reminded me slightly of Baccarat Rouge. They're not actually similar, but just in the way that it has something about it that you can't quite put your finger on. This has that. This has that strange something about it that's really, really nice, you know. It's a really unusual fragrance. And I did decide to go for the large 100ml bottle because I have purchased a 50ml from Montal before and it was really, really toty. It almost looked a bit like a 30ml, so I wanted to get the bigger bottle so it looked a bit more substantial, you know. But that's Mukhallat. I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to take this little bit off here for a second. I'm really looking forward to talking about this one more in upcoming videos. It's quite unusual. It almost reminds me of like the strawberry shortcake character, like a doll or something like that. I think I read in the comments in Fragrantica, I think I read some comments. I think people were comparing this to the smell of the scented dolls that you could get a while ago, the ones that you can't really get anymore. But I think they actually were scented like strawberry or, you know, things like that. And a lot of people, well, a few people anyway, kind of said that this fragrance reminded them a lot of that, and it brought back a sense of like nostalgia, which was really interesting to me. And I can see like it almost has that slightly, not plasticky, but strange, like unusual, aloof smell to it with the strawberry. It's not like anything else I've smelt before. Really, really unusual fragrance, and I very much look forward to discussing it in future videos. So that's Mukhallat from Montal. So there we have it, you guys. Those are a few new perfumes I have recently added to my collection. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It's kind of been a long time coming. I know a few of you were asking when am I gonna do a haul, but I finally got around to it today. I'm really happy with these perfumes. I feel as though I've really taken the time to decide, you know, which fragrances I was going to allow in. You know, I didn't just go out and purchase a bunch of fragrances. I did used to do that quite a lot. I would just do, what's that called? Purchasing things like on a whim, you know, but I've been really good. I'm quite pleased with myself. I've not really been just purchasing things on a whim. I've not been buying too many things either. This is a really nice amount to be allowing in. And yeah, I'm really happy with my collection, you guys, and I'm really happy with these new perfumes. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, then you may also enjoy these other videos that I'm going to have pop up on the screen here. So until next time, you guys, take care. Bye.